Namaste, Acharya ji. I am a graduate from the year 2011, BTech and MTech from Biochemical Engineering. I My question is actually an extension of what you were saying earlier in the conversation. Perhaps I did not understand it completely, which is why I'm asking my question. When you were talking about how our current systems are a whitewashed extension of what already exists in the jungle, my question is if the animalistic nature is so innate, natural, and core to the human experience, is your view that one needs to embrace it and perhaps enhance it in one's everyday life, or that one needs to be able to tame it, harness it, mold it in a way that makes us, human and different from animals?
Lovely question, Ruchira, and great that you asked it because I myself felt that probably the discussion was not complete at that moment. You see, this is really the only spiritual question possible. What to do with prakriti, that which you are calling as one's innate nature. Uh, Classically, we just call it as prakriti. Prakriti exists both outside us in the form of the jungle we referred to, and it exists in our person as well. Hmm? This body and all its systems, they too are prakritic, right? Now that's the question, what to do with it? You can't live without it, and you can't live with it as it is. Hmm? So who are you? That's classically called as the Purush. Purush refers to consciousness. And what is everything that you can perceive, experience, see, talk of, think of, mentate? That is called as Prakriti. Whatever you can lay your hands on, whatever your eyes can look at, that is called as Prakriti. Whatever you can even imagine or think of, that is Prakriti. So you are the subject, the Purush, and all your objects are called as Prakriti. And indeed, the aim of all philosophical systems and all spiritual inquiry is to determine the right relationship between Purush and Prakriti. And so that's what you have asked. Do we tame it? Do we ignore it? Do we transcend it? What do we do? It's a very delicate thing, this relationship. Hmm? You have to come very close to it. You have to understand it, but you have to avoid getting engaged. And that is again classically called as witnessing. You cannot run away from it, just as you cannot run away from your own body. That's a privilege not given to us. Can one run away from the body? No. Is there consciousness without body? Well, no. Absolute consciousness, it is said that it's metaphysical, not corporal. But we are not creatures of absolute consciousness, no? We are creatures of dualistic consciousness, and our personal consciousness depends totally on the body. If you sleep, the state of your consciousness changes. If you get drunk, your consciousness again changes. So can there be our personal consciousness without the body? Well, no. So then what can Purush do? It cannot run away from Prakriti, just as our consciousness is always wedded to Prakriti, which is the body. You cannot run away from it. Can you fight it? Well, that method has been tried. A lot of people have tried that method. They said, we'll do exactly the opposite of what Prakriti says. Then Prakriti laughs at them. And that's the reason Prakriti is also called as Maya. Prakriti laughs at them, says, will you stop breathing? Can you stop breathing? Now breathing too is an animalistic thing. It was happening in the jungle, it is happening in the cities as well. Can you stop breathing? You cannot stop breathing. Can you stop looking, perceiving? Can you stop getting attracted? Can you stop the force of inquiry and curiosity that arises in a child's mind? You cannot stop all these things. So you cannot fight me. You cannot run away from me. You cannot fight me. So what is the relationship that you need to have with me? India came up with a beautiful answer. India said, worship her. Worship her, but do not try to own her. Worship her from a reverent distance. So India then started calling the jungle as Ma. this entire system of mother worship, the Shakt stream, where you have Devi Puja and such things, is nothing but an answer to the question of right relationship. Durga or Ambika or Kali, they represent Prakriti. What to do with them? Worship them. Worship them as mother. Be close to them without the intention to possess them or exploit them. So go close to the jungle, observe it, know it, have reverence towards it, but do not aim to own it, possess it, exploit it, or consume it. That's the right relationship. And when that right relationship is there, then somehow magically Prakriti herself comes to redeem you, liberate you. So India said that liberation will not happen if you run away from her. It's not possible. Because wherever you go, you will be still within her domain. There is no point in space away from her. All space is her own extension. All time is her own continuation. So thinking of somehow escaping or eloping or whatever is just impossible. You are her own product in the corporeal sense. How will you run away? So come close. Come close. But do not come close as the ordinary consumer does. When we ordinarily come close to something, we want to lay our dirty hands on that thing, no? And we want to pick that thing up and consume it and ingratiate us and feel the pleasure. India said, no, that's not the way. Go close. Go close with the spirit to really know. Go close without the intention to exploit, and that is called love. Love involves intimacy without the intention to exploit. So know her, know life, know every aspect of life. Do not shy away, do not run away. Be fully immersed. But being immersed is just not the same as being exploitative. Being immersed is not the same as being inebriated. No? Know it without falling prey to it. Neither should you fall prey to it, nor should you allow that thing to own you and possess you. And that's the reason why there is so much emphasis then on renunciation. Renunciation, therefore, is not about giving up. Renunciation is about not acquiring what is anyway not yours. And if somehow mistakenly you have picked it up, then respectfully just keep it back. It is not yours. Why do you want to act like a thief? Do you see how all these things are interlinked? So, that's the most fundamental question. The kid is born. The kid is born as the body. But remaining the body, the kid never feels satisfied. And that's why the human being is the most restless among all species. We are endowed with a special quality of consciousness that is not content with its prakritik, animalistic existence. No animal ever feels the kind of existential restlessness that we do. So what to do then? How to live? That's the question all spirituality wants to address. Who are you? Why are you born? What to do with this life? What kind of relationship to have with this world? The right relationship is a thing of deep sadhana. You have to master it. Because if you go close to her, there is the risk of getting sucked in. No, you have to go close. You have to go close to observe, to know. And that is what is called as worship. Worship is not just about bowing your head in the physical sense. Worship is about going close, just as there is a deity in the temple. No, you go close to the deity. You go close to the deity and then you bow your head down. What does that mean? That means I'm coming close to you without letting my head dominate what I will do in the moment of closeness. So I'll come close to you, but just because I'm coming close to you, I'll not start. For example, the deity might be decked with a lot of gold. In India, that often is the case, no? There is a lot of gold on the deity. Now you can go to the deity and look at the gold and say, oh, I'll take all this away. That's not what you do. You go to the deity and you bow your head down. That's what you are to do with this life, with everything that is there in physical existence. Be it the jungle, be it the animals, be it the natural resources, be it the opposite gender, or be it your own body. Live a life of deep immersion without, but now I'm going into the preachy aspects of it. Hope I've answered.